I'm gonna tell you the story of how I found one of the rarest Barbie dolls ever made and left her behind at the thrift store. So for context, I make YouTube videos where I do doll hunts. So I go to the store, I record, and I show all the dolls that I found, and then I do a haul at the end where I show all of the dolls that I got that day. And this day was no different. It was one of my best thrifting days ever, actually. I went to an antique mall, and I don't go to this one too often because it's kind of far away and I don't really find anything, but I found like 10 of the rare variants of the holiday Barbies. So holiday Barbies are super common, but I found the African American variants from a bunch of years that are pretty hard to find. So I was already on cloud nine and they were $5 each. $5 each. Crazy. So, and then later I go to another booth that has dolls. They never have dolls at all these booths, so it was really weird. It was just like my day. And I had just started collecting more vintage Barbie dolls, so I'm starting to collect 60s and 70s at the time. This is important. I walk up to a booth and I find a bunch of 2000s dolls. I collect 2000 dolls, that's when I was a kid. So I pick up a Nutcracker Barbie and a few others from like the 90s and the 2000s, and I'm on cloud nine because I just found so many cool dolls for such good prices. And I walk up with my camera and I really quickly kind of just glaze over and I say, oh, here's a doll from the 80s, cute, but not really my thing, and I move on. I hadn't been collecting 80s dolls at the time. I was very focused on 60s and 70s. I edit the video and I upload it. I believe this was a Saturday, so the video goes up on a Sunday. By the time the video is like getting comments and like getting views, the store is now closed. It is open on Sundays, but only until like 4 p.m. probably. I get a comment that says, not you walking past one of the rarest Barbie dolls ever made, with a timestamp. But I was like, I responded to the commenter like, hey, I'm not super familiar with 80s Barbies, I'm sorry, like, what? And they explained to me like, oh, I just watched a YouTube video of like the top 10 rarest Barbie dolls, and this doll you just found was on the list. And I was like, okay, maybe they're mistaken. I look into it, no, they're totally right. I walked right past the Pink Jubilee Barbie. Now, this is a name that applies to 3 dolls, I believe. I found the one that was exclusive to an event in New York City, a one-day event that was invite only. And there's only 1,200 of that doll in the world. This antique mall is not open on Monday, so I go to work and I'm nervous all day. I'm anxious because now I've read the whole story of this doll and I want her. I go back on Tuesday, I get in there, I beeline straight for the dolls because I believe I was a little bit late for whatever reason. I don't remember. I think it's just because I was so nervous I barely even slept. The doll was still there. I got her. This is Pink Jubilee Barbie. She even came with one of the napkins from the events, which is so cool. This doll I haven't really done much with yet because I'm so scared of hurting her, because her dress is made out of this metallic fabric that is super, super prone to losing like its sparkle. And so I don't want to touch her. So I haven't really done a whole lot with her yet. But yeah, here she is. And when I posted the video about it, there were Barbie collectors that got mad. They're like, you left the doll behind, so you don't get to have her now. I'm sorry, I left the doll behind and then I went back and I got her. So what now? Were you gonna fly to Alabama? Were you gonna fly to Alabama and get the doll?